We're here at the Rappahannock Education Farm Annex Garden at the Fredericksburg Regional Food Bank. And we're here with two incredibly awesome and amazing people, Mike and Liz Ritoli, who just do a fantastic job with this garden. Last year from this garden we produced over 2,000 pounds of fresh produce that were walked right into the food bank and donated. So Liz, tell us, what do you have planned for the spring? What's going on here now?
Well,
anything planted?
Oh, we've got a lot planted already. We were really excited about the garden this year and kind of jumped the gun on some things. Probably by the end of February, we were out here walking around to see how icy it was, and we put some things in over on the other side of the garden that have started to come up. We put in some spinach and we put in some
let's
carrots
take a look over there.
Yeah.
Looks like you got, what are those tall things?
Those tall things are garlic that we planted last November.
Man, but last November, those garlic look incredible. And what are those vegetables underneath them?
Underneath the 2 rows of garlic, we've got a row of radishes.
Efficient use of space there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for the time the radishes are ready to pull, the garlic bulbs will be getting really big and they can claim their space again. And then in front of that, we've got carrots planted.
Nice.
And in the next row towards us, there's spinach and more radishes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next row over, you'll see another full row of radishes.
Yep.
Then
they're looking good. They're looking good, Liz.
Yeah, those were put in the earliest. That was probably the first row that we planted.
Perfect.
And we staggered planting. How many times did we plant? 3, I think, so that we could stagger them.
Each row has been staggered like 10 to 14 days. Mm-hmm. So we started on the far end, then we waited a week or two, planted the next, and came this way.
So by staggering, it won't all have to be harvested at the same time.
Yeah, plus when you take a chance when you plant in early spring, late winter, it says it's okay to plant, it's cold tolerant, but sometimes the frost will just come through and burn it. So if you wait a week in between or 2 weeks, you get a little bit a better chance of things coming up if you get around bad weather. So that's what we try to do, is just spread it out a little bit. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And yeah, like you said, it helps the harvest too. You don't get it in all the time.
Right. So what do you have in that 4th row? It looks like.
Well, that row is an experimental row. We wanted to try broccoli and see if this soil would grow well in this soil, in this area. So it did, but you can see that there's a lot of space between each of the plants.
Mm-hmm. Giving a lot of room to grow.
Right, giving it room to grow. But I think if we plant it again, we can plant them a lot closer and get even more out of the row. On the other side of it, there's some lettuce. We were gifted some lettuce and decided to try and see how that would work. It's leaf lettuce, but it's the kind of lettuce that grows on a root. We can pull it up like a head and take it into the food bank early in the day so that the first people who come to pick up and take to the pantries can get nice fresh lettuce.
I love that. What a great idea. And what are these black hoses in the middle of these rows, Liz?
That's our new drip irrigation.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
I see the drips coming out right now.
Yeah, we're testing it to make sure that everything is working. The pressure is good. We're getting moisture all the way down the row. Mm-hmm. This row that you see with some strings on it, that's peas, and they're climbing peas. So we'll have that coming in probably within the next, I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
That's exciting. They look so beautiful.
Yeah.
They really look beautiful.
And then when those are gone, that row, because it's already outfitted with poles, will be for pole beans. Green beans that will stake and put on trellis.
And where will you put your tomato plants?
Well, once these rows empty out, once the broccoli row empties out, the row that I pointed out that has the drip irrigation, and this row right in front of us, these 3 rows are going to be tomatoes.
Perfect. So it's really succession planting.
It is succession planting.
Last
year we planted our squash and zucchini early,
and
we had a lot of bugs. So we got 2 recommendations. One was to make sure that we moved our rows to the opposite side of the garden, which we're going to do because the beans and the 1 tomato will be gone. But also, late season squash and zucchini don't get as many bugs. The theory is that the bugs have had their fill in early summer and they're pretty much done. So
I like
we're hoping that that's going to work this year.
I like it.
Yeah.
So Mike, you're busy at work here. No time to talk, I guess, but let me just bother you for a minute. What are you planting there?
Today we're planting 2 rows of what's called provider bush beans, and they live up to their name. They are green beans, and once they start to put out, they just keep putting out for a good 2 to 3 weeks, and the harvest is really heavy. We're putting in 2 rows today of 300 plants per row, and they're basically all pretty much going to germinate, so we're going to have a good crop of beans.
I love it.
I've laid out the drip tape. The drip tape is, the emitters are 4 inches on center, so put a bean at 4 inches and another one in between and just keep going, and we get 2-inch spacing.
I love it. How deep do you plant them, Mike?
1 inch.
1 inch.
You
Perfect.
know, that's give or take. It's
Yep.
not an exact science.
Yep.
About 1 inch. Yeah.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah.
And I see you've got something back here, a little straw. What are you going to put back in this area?
Well, that whole area, Andy Craig came and rototilled that in this little L up here. We're putting in pollinating flowers.
Perfect.
Hummingbirds, birds, and bees. So we're gonna do a little experiment this year, see if that takes.
Nice.
Same up here. Maybe a little herb garden down in the corner, but right now our main focus is trying to get our rows seeded for the summer. So.
Exciting. So last year you grew and donated about 2,000 pounds. So what's your wild guess for this year?
Well, last year we had a little bit more. I'm hoping for at least what we got last year, around 25-ish, and maybe a little more. I have no reason to believe that we won't get that much and more.
Yeah.
Well, last year a lot of our poundage was tomatoes and zucchini.
Yeah.
And yellow squash.
And yellow squash. We'll have that in again this year. I bet you, plus we have our irrigation in too, so we have to at least match that. I mean, it's going to be really easy to match that. Please, I'm not cursing or something like that, but I think we can match that,
yeah.
And hopefully go over it. But this is only the 2nd year. We're trying some new things in the way of vegetables this year, so we'll see. I hope to get at least. We hope to get at least.
Let's go for 3,000.
Yeah.
We're hoping for 3,000 pounds out of this
Yeah,
garden.
All right.
We're going for 3,000.
It's always fun and it's always an experiment. And just want to thank you on behalf of all the people that benefit from the work that you do. And this is an integral part of our Rappahannock Education Farm. And you guys are just an amazing couple.
This is a labor of love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We love it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.